This is Real Talk. My name's Kevin DeSerpa, and the topic today is how it all began. A lot of people want to know how I came up with the idea for Ginga soccer and why I started it. Well, it's pretty simple. While I was a professional soccer player, I kind of already had an idea of what I wanted really to do when I was done, or when I was going to stop. I knew that I wanted to train kids back in Canada. I wanted to improve the Canadian soccer and just help as much as I potentially could. My goals and my intentions were to get as many players as I could that were hungry, that wanted to train and wanted to improve and understood what they wanted also. It wasn't just grabbing random kids and training them and making them. Did my cat just make an appearance? She did. Well, hopefully she stays out of it, because this is not about her. This is about something else. Trying to reach my goals was trying to find players that wanted the same as me. And luckily I found a few of those. I'm not going to mention names, but there are a few players that I've sent to Portugal. There are a few players I've sent to Spain. There's one going to Spain very, very soon. There's 5 of them going to Portugal on January the 6th to the 26th. 4 of them will be trying out with the first team, and 1 of them will be trying out with the U19 team. And I'm very proud of that, because not just I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of them being able to handle all of the hard work that I give them, the mentality, and also chasing their dream. All I can hope for these young boys that are going away after being with me is that they make it, And if they don't make it, they got a great experience, and they're not going to be done, because there's a lot of examples of perseverance, like a guy named Jamie Vardy. I'm sure you all know him. He started his professional career later on in his life, and that's just one example. There are many. I was fortunate to be able to start to play professional soccer when I was 17. I was a young guy. I was fortunate to be able to do that, but it's not easy. A lot of people want to be professional soccer players. A lot of kids want to get there. A lot of parents want to push their kids to the limits, and to be fair, it's not really realistic for the kid, because then you just look at who's pushing them, and you look at where are they pushing them and how hard are they pushing them. And I've seen a lot of kids fall off, and it makes me really sad, because it's a dream for the kid, and a lot of the times the parent wants it more than the child, and that's a sad situation, because it goes back to that saying that the parent is living through the kid, and that's not the way it happens. There has to be support, and there has to be a lot of guidance for it to actually happen. Because if you look at the world in soccer, every player that plays soccer in every single country in the world wants to be a professional soccer player. And that's a hard thing to face when you actually look at the reality of that. A Canadian soccer player is facing a kid that's his age. Let's say he's 12 years old. He's facing a kid from Portugal that's 12, and maybe like thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and Italy and Egypt and Pakistan and China and Brazil and Chile. All these countries have great soccer players, youth soccer players, let's say at one age. And the one age across the world could have millions of kids at one age. And they all want to have a chance to play for Manchester United or Chelsea or Benfica or Real Madrid. And you have to be not just really, really good. There's a lot of factors that come with this. There's a lot of factors that come with wanting to be a professional and actually making it, because wanting to be one and making it are like black and white, two different things. It's two different worlds. There's a lot of players that I've seen that were tremendously talented and ended up not making it at all, because their attitude was poor, or they couldn't handle the pressure, or they weren't fit enough. They never wanted to get fit. There's so many other factors, and then then in the end, each coach at that moment or director at that moment has a certain criteria and has a certain look and what they want, and oh, he's not fast enough, I don't want him. Then this same player that wasn't fast enough goes to another club, better or worse, and the guy thinks he's a superstar. That's just football. That's why you never give up, and that's why you never say, oh, I didn't make it at this club. Okay, well, perfect, you didn't make it at that club. There's 1,000 other clubs, hundreds of thousands of other clubs you can try out for. Never give up, please. And that's my goal also, is to continue giving kids the guidance that they can believe in themselves and to never give up, because kids nowadays, they give up so easy. I don't know. I do know why. I don't know why. It's a situation where it's very confusing. But it goes back to the parents making decisions for them sometimes, or not making decisions for them sometimes. It's a 50-50 everywhere. That's why our role as coaches or influencers or people that guide are so important, because all we want is the child to work hard, become better, improve, become a good person, become a strong leader, and try his best or her best to make it. And I keep on talking about making it, and I keep on talking about professional, because that's the end goal. I love training kids like 7-year-olds and doing skills. That's one of my big strengths, is training skills and making them become better and making them become confident. But there's no reaching the final stage of professional without doing the first stages, where you're learning how to dribble, learning how to pass, learning how to control the ball, having a good attitude, being a good teammate, trying to be a leader, having a positive outlook, and being healthy, staying fit, being strong. Like, all of these things play a huge part if you're going to make it later on. And if you can implement slowly these little things, because you can't give a 7-year-old all of these training sessions that are high intensity. No, it has to be fun. There has to be a lot of fun in the beginning, manipulating the ball in different type of ways, keeping it tricky, keeping it fun, and keeping them motivated, of course, because if you're a coach that's always talking and not showing, that's kind of boring. I was a soccer player at a youthful age also, and when I had a coach just talking, do it like this, do it like that, do it like this, do it like that, and never showing me, you get bored. Just like anything, just like any teacher in any type of workplace and any type of sport. You have to be able to show. Yes, talking is important. Yes, information is important, education, guidance, and tactics and information. But you have to be able to show and keep the fun in the game, because kids play sports for fun. And if you take the fun out of the sport, you just killed the kid. I want to be a person that can encourage players and coaches to give their best. It has to be a mentality. It can't be someone pushing you to try and get the best out of you. Yes, it's good. There has to be some type of motivator that's pushing, but constant pushing, that's where kids get they shy away from the training, they shy away from the coach. They don't want to be pushed so much, especially nowadays. We have different rules in place in our society, where there's a lot of kids that are insecure, and if you push them too hard, they could end up quitting, and that's not what you want. You want to keep them alive, you want to keep it fresh, you want to keep them wanting to learn. So I want to make sure that I'm giving a clear message here, that it's okay to push, but you can't push too far, because then the kids will break. They are only kids, and they are in Canada. I've trained kids in Spain, I've trained kids in Portugal, and I've trained kids from all over the world at one certain camp that I did in Barcelona. I was there for 10 days, and I got to train kids from Mexico, Argentina, Russia, England. It was an unbelievable camp. There was 120 kids from all over the world, and I was blessed to be a part of this and be able to see and train kids from all over the world. And what did I see? That in some countries, you're allowed to push that kid so much because of how they were brought up. And in other countries, you can't, because they're a little bit softer. And that's just the reality of the world. But I did experience that, and I did learn a lot from that. I gained a lot of experience training in that camp, and I'm very happy to say that it's helped me as a coach become a better coach and a better trainer. I mean, I don't want to be called a coach too much, because I'm not a coach. Maybe people may think I'm a coach, but I want to be considered a trainer. I've went through that coaching experience, and it wasn't very pleasant. It was pleasant with the kids and all that stuff, but on the other side, there was a lot of pressure, a lot of questioning towards me that led me to not wanting to be a coach anymore. So I do want to be a trainer, because it's a different aspect. It's something I absolutely love. I'm in love with skills. I'm in love with the ball. I'm also in love with teaching it, as you see in my videos, in the private sessions, and my skills programs, and my camps. That's where the fun is. Training kids how to be good, and training them so they can improve. That builds confidence in kids when you improve them. And I've seen that tremendously year after year, week after week, day after day. It's my full-time job, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm here at the point where I am now, but where it all began was just a few kids. I started with 1 or 2, and then it led to 10 to 20, and then it led to 50 to 60 to 70, and then I was having camps and bringing, my friend Rafa from Spain to do camps. We would have 60, 70 kids. And then I brought the F2 4, 5, 6 times. We'd have kids. One time we had a camp, there was 90 kids. That's something special to me. I'm humbled by that 90 kids want to be at my camp and F2 camp. That was spectacular. I also brought Juan Ferrando. We had a huge camp with him. And I brought a lot of different people, and it was just something amazing. Something that lacks here in Canada is that fun skills aspect part. And there's so much like tactical work, because I hear from everybody. I'm a person where I get phone calls and I hear from different parents from different academies in different cities and even different provinces, because obviously that nowadays with social media, the whole world can see who you are, and I'm fortunate enough to have a global following, and people from all over the world, even from Spain and Portugal, call me, and parents to see what my opinion is. And I'm pretty blessed on that aspect, because I didn't actually think that it would go this far. There was a plan in the beginning to get to a certain level and get to a certain point, but having people call me from all over the world to ask for my advice about training, that's something special, and that humbles me tremendously. Right now, I am Ginga Soccer. We do skills, we do camps, private sessions, and trips abroad, of course. But I'm not attached to any teams or any clubs. I'm looking now to work with a bunch of different clubs and a bunch of different academies on a technical side. There's 4 or 5 offers just from the GTA region to bring me in as a technical coach, and for my trips and for my camps. And that's pretty pleasing, because I don't want to be fully attached to teams. I don't want to be fully attached to any clubs. I'm enjoying my time right now. I'm enjoying everything I'm doing, and I'm happy. Most importantly, you have to be happy with what you're doing, because that's real talk. And what I want to say is, I want to say thank you to all the kids and all the parents that are supporting me all the time. It's a blessing for me to be in this position to help kids every single day. And what else do I want out of this? I just want kids to be happy and play soccer and enjoy. Do I ever want to be a U17 or U20 Canadian national team coach? Absolutely. In the future, yes. But right now, I'm very content with having skills programs and helping kids from all over the clubs. Like, for example, right now in my skills program, I must have kids from about just in the KW region. I have kids in my skills programs from about 5 to 6 to 7 different academies / clubs. And for me, that's important, because then they go back to their clubs and academies and they improve. And that's what I'm hearing, because there's some parents that call me and, after one session, my son improved and he loves the way you coach and the way you teach and all that stuff. He doesn't get that at his club. And I feel sorry for the kids that don't get that, but that's just the reality of what it is. Not everyone has played in Brazil, Portugal, and Spain like I have, but I also want the clubs and academies to know that I'm here to help them. You know, I know I said that in a previous video that they didn't get back to me, but right now at the moment, there are 4 or 5 different clubs, academies in the GTA region that want me to be part of their club and help their kids. And that makes me so happy because that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I just want to teach kids, give them skills, give them confidence, and improve their game. And that's all I want to do. And thankfully, that's exactly what's happening. So, I don't want to keep rambling on because this is a pretty long video, but I do want to say thank you so much. Hopefully this information has helped you. I know I've talked a lot about different things, and the topic was how it all began. How it all began. How it all began is something that I don't even know, really, because who you have a plan, and is it gonna work? Who knows? You know, my plan went like this, and like that, and like this, and like that, and like this. And now it's up here. So I want to keep it there with what I'm doing. We're on our way to Portugal in April. There's an academy that wants me to help them get to Portugal and take their teams. And that's something we're looking into. Very soon, 5 of the players from Ginga are going to Portugal to try out. So I'm very happy where it's going right now, and I'm blessed. So having said that, hope you enjoyed the episode, because this is Real Talk.